There's a beauty about breathing together, even on our prayer and conversation call, when we have that time on Zoom or wherever, just to consciously breathe with one another. I think that the breath, for me at least, is that connection of the divine. That breath is the sharing of God itself. That experience of God coming in with every breath we take. So as you consciously now just breathe, understanding the in and out, understanding that shared moment that we get to have with each other right now. Breathing in the breath of God, life itself. If we understand the word life as God, we are literally breathing in God. So to take this moment to consciously say, yes, I breathe in God. And something I want to talk about later when I do my pulpit work is the idea of freedom as our topic today, but freedom in an understanding of fear. And so I'm going to ask you to understand freedom, because we know fear, we know worry. Just the thought of that word may have brought up something. Whatever that thing is, I'm going to ask you to embrace it, to say thank you to it. Over the years, I've come to understand that when fear comes in, it's like a messenger. It's like something saying, hey, pay attention, this is important. And when we listen to that calling, to that pay attention, this is important, the fear is no longer needed. And so as a messenger, it gets to just say goodbye. And so as you hear that message, whatever it might be, let's shift our focus to the idea of freedom. So many people say they are free or they want to be free. People say they want to be happy, but they really don't know what it is. So I'm asking you to tap into that understanding of freedom. To actually give it a color. If you were to paint, to communicate that experience of freedom, what color might you use? And now with that breath of life of God, breathe in that color. To know freedom in your lungs. To feel that freedom in your heart. To let your heart be filled with the color, the knowing deep inside of you. Of that experience of freedom. And so I'm going to give you just a minute or so just to breathe in that color. Let it flow into your lungs. Maybe it's like a beautiful mist in an early morning. To breathe that coolness, that color, that understanding of freedom. To let it fill your heart. And to consciously guide that color into the chambers of your heart. The 4 rooms that pulse and beat, that have a rhythm of life. Fill those chambers, paint those walls with freedom. And invite your heart Once it's filled up, and only when it is filled up with this freedom, to pump it, to pulse it with every breath, to share it with your entire body, to see it flowing through your brain, filling your veins, moving into your gut with every beat, with every breath, with every pulse of your heart. Allowing, consciously guiding that freedom deep inside yourselves. In this conscious choice of welcoming freedom, of guiding it into your body, of connecting with your breath. Use your inner vision now as your eyes are still closed to guide that freedom into any moment where you may find limitation or doubt. And as you learn to use your inner vision, which is part of the intuitive process, as you learn to do this and practice it in this moment, with that inner vision, I'm inviting you to send that color up like a fountain. Send that color up from the core of your being, through your heart, like a beautiful fountain overflowing into this room. And to see in your own inner vision a rainbow of colors, as each and every individual here has their own specific understanding of freedom. And as those colors are supported and complemented and contrasted with each other, to see this room filling up with that beautiful, beautiful rainbow of light. And to see again in your own eyes someone else's fountain of freedom. And to say, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna try me some of that too. To understand all the different ways to be free. And see this room filling up with that rainbow. You may notice the light getting brighter and brighter, deeper and more saturated, sparkling even. To breathe in that freedom. And as you get to now swim in this beautiful rainbow of freedom, as you get to float in this freedom, free from judgment, free from worry, free from fear, free from limitation, to feel yourself being buoyed by the spiritual quality, another word for the divine itself, for freedom, by freedom. I'm inviting you to simply say yes. I honor my freedom. I honor your freedom. I celebrate this freedom, and I consciously choose to breathe it in even more deeply. I bring it into my cells, and as you do, they get to be filled up. As you breathe this freedom, this life, this breath of God, just pause for a moment and allow. When we choose freedom and align ourselves with that truth, we release our limitations, our fear, our lack, our judgments. And so know, as you say to yourself even right now, I choose freedom. Just simply by saying, I choose freedom, some little lack, some little fear is dissolving into the goodness that is God. I choose freedom. I choose freedom. I choose freedom. And to take a moment as we come back, to take a moment in breath, in life, in your body, to take a moment of choosing peace, of breathing in that freedom. As we take a moment now, coming back, as you open your eyes, say out loud with me, I choose freedom. Welcome back. I love you all. We're going to be starting our service in just a few minutes. Thank you for sharing this experience with me. And namaste.